Bang your head. Mental health will drive you mad. How's it going, everyone? We're going to talk about mental health today, right? Hope you're all doing all right. Whiskey and I taking a little walk, sharing some thoughts. And, as always, in my fashion, I'll blab a little bit about some irrelevant stuff and then get to the point, right? This is what we're going to talk about today. Mental health. And the story about a woman and her 2 kids purposely going over into the Niagara Falls, right? And I'll leave a clip.
Stating news tonight, New York State Park Police say a second woman entered the Niagara River and went over the falls. Less than 2 weeks after a woman and her 2 children went over the guardrail on Luna Island, police say a second woman plunged the Niagara River and went over Horseshoe Falls. This happened at around 2 o'clock this afternoon in front of several witnesses, according to Park Police. Search efforts are ongoing. State police are also still looking for the remains of the mother and her 2 children who went over the falls on October 28th. We'll have more on this story as it develops, both on air and online, WIVB.com. As a reminder, if you or someone you know needs help, Crisis Services is always available.
Sometimes taking that uncensored look means expressing some viewpoints that aren't necessarily accepted, or maybe, it's, I don't have the right word to it, maybe taboo to talk about, right? Such as our views today on mental health. And, with that said, let's go ahead and get started on it. I'm going to show you this video clip of a news not too long ago, and a lot of this kind of sad news gets brushed off and forgotten about when you got issues like the election and all this other shit. All these people think, well, Trump got it, we're going to be great now, we're golden now. Oh, all the price is going to go down, everybody's going to be free, everything's going to be great, right? I doubt it, but that's not today's subject. I want to do a video on that, but we'll see. Maybe by the time I do it, it'll be irrelevant. So I'm going to show you this clip about this woman and her 2 children. The way it sounds like, she must have threw her children over and then jumped herself into the Niagara Falls, right? So I'll show you the clip here. Let's take a look.
We thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, we begin with information about a terrible tragedy that police say happened right here Monday night. They tell me a mother intentionally went over the falls, bringing with her her 2 young children. Their bodies have not been recovered. I'm going to show you where they say this happened. We've learned it happened on Luna Island. Now, that's an area connected to Goat Island inside Niagara Falls State Park. It's just a short distance from where I am right now. Police tell us 33-year-old Keontae Means, her 9-year-old and her 5-month-old went over a safety guardrail and then over the falls. This was on around 9 p.m. Monday, and they heard from numerous witnesses over the past 48 hours. Multiple police agencies have been involved in the search. Authorities have been spotted in the park in marked vehicles and the state police helicopters, and in the water below the falls where they're searching. As of tonight, we're told the bodies have not been recovered. And while this tragedy remains under investigation, state police telling me that they have yet to uncover a possible explanation. Yeah, still early on in the investigation, and Trooper O'Callahan says that the children have different fathers. They tell me both men are cooperating with authorities and have been helpful in the investigation.
Everyone in the family that we've contacted, even the fathers of the children, have been very cooperative. They've been very forward with us with all information, and actually because of that, we're able to kind of speed this up quite a bit on our investigative end.
He says officers are interviewing witnesses who were here the night this happened. That was Monday night around 9 p.m. They heard from several people. There are also several cameras around the park here. They're looking at that as well in the investigation. And back here live, you're looking at a live picture of where police say this happened There has been a lot of talk about mental health today as well. While it's still early on, they don't know what led to this. That is something that we are talking about.
Leah, if you've ever visited Niagara Falls State Park, you've probably seen one of these blue crisis services poles. And in each of these poles, there's a phone. And these phones connect you to a crisis hotline 24 hours a day. I spoke this afternoon with members of the Niagara County Department of Mental Health, and they shared the message with me that no one should ever feel helpless. There's always help on the other side of the line.
All right, now let's consider this, okay? We heard their news report. This is a sad story. It's sad, it is, right? And you hear stuff like that, and this is where we come down to mental health, right? And man, we don't want nobody to do stuff like that. And what are the signs? What can we do to prevent that? How can we help, right? Well, let's hold on now. First of all, please realize that I'm going off of my memory of this from watching it about 2 days ago, right? And because of the way my situation is, I got to go off memory right now. I can't just sit here and watch it and then go over it. But for the most part, I want to address this in a way that no one else is, and maybe many are afraid to, and maybe it makes people think things the wrong way if they hear you say certain things, right? But this truly is a sad story, and there's many like it all across the nation, all across the world, right? Because like I say, a lot of issues I'm talking about, uncensored look at America stuff and all that, but the fact is most of these issues are the same all across the world. We live in this delusion that America's different than every other nation and we're so great, when the truth is we're no different than the rest of them. We're not any more free. That's just the truth. And every one of these other nations, for the most part, their citizens think they have the best nation. You can believe that or not, but it's the truth. Oh, well, you got Chinese people come over here and they tell you how bad it is over in China. Yeah? Well, I tell you right now, as things have went for me, if I was over in China or anywhere else, I'd be telling people how bad it was for me over here in America. Right? And, we can hold on now, okay? Now you're talking about our rights and freedoms and stuff like that. When it comes down to it, how they shape this world for everyone and force the world upon everyone leads to a lot of these problems, right? The news about this issue was, oh, well, there was no signs, like nobody knew, we couldn't figure it, there was no signs, we're just not sure what happened there, and it'd been nice if there was some signs. So they have these, and they show in the news report, they have the call centers, right? There's help. Call. Make sure you call. Call for some help, right? Around here is a thing called, or it used to be anyways, first call for help, they called it, right? And you call the number, and there's many people that call that, and they like it, right? I know some people, oh, that's a good service, it's helped me out. Really? This is what I want to know. For some people, you have some mental health issues, I get it, that they're just there, some mental health issues. And maybe people aren't clear about stuff that's going on with you or in your life, or they haven't cared enough, right? And that led to a downfall in your mental health. And then you got the people who, it's like the world around you has purposely tried to damage your mental health. And then we got, who are we as people? Well, let's call for some help. Let's call for some help. I want to know. Okay, let's go back to this and consider, I don't know what this woman's issues were, right? So, all instances are different. Not everything I'm going to say is going to pertain to that situation, right? But if we take many situations, let's just say that you were doing good in life, worked hard, kept everything going. Even though bad days came, you were good about it, good sport, good spirits, and you worked so hard, and then something comes along and decides that they're going to steal it all from you, ruin your life, and just destroy and make life suck for you. Right? You know, and then in this instance, right? So you got all these, even local officials, everyone acting like they care when something happens, right? Let's say, you know, local government stepped in and ruined your life or something. As an example, right? It could be all kinds of things. It could be you lost a significant other, you're broke, you're sick of being broke, or, you know, whatever the issues are. You just can't stand this world anymore, right? So you call that number. We're here to help. We're here to help. Don't do nothing drastic because we're here to help. Are you? What are you going to do to help? This stupid phone. Anyway, sorry. What are you going to do to help? Okay, you take, I don't know, you know, I'm just saying, consider a situation like mine. Okay, now I can't compare it to this woman's situation. I don't know, you know, what may be the issue there. But I know other people with issues, right? And I know my own issues. And, of course, first things first. The first person you need to call for help is God, right? If you're having some mental issues, concerning issues, you're afraid to speak up about, take it to God. Take it to God first and foremost, right? Lay it at His feet. That's just, you know, the most important advice. Any number you're going to call, none of them is going to be there for you. But you got to do it in faith and seriousness, right? Because I pray many times, hey God, man, protect my mind, help me out here, right? Keep me, you know, keep my mind safe from these bad thoughts and stuff like that. And give me hope and stuff like that. Because otherwise, the rest of the world will most definitely and surely cause you to lose all hope. Right? So as I say, you consider a situation like mine. First of all, let's consider who we are as people. You know, we hear, let's just say, had I done something, right? Couldn't take it anymore or whatever. And, you know, let this bad stuff just get the best of me and, you know, done something, right? You gotta watch what you say and all that. But, I mean, this is the angle no one wants to take a truthful look at. Let's just say I did that. Then suddenly the community would come around. Oh, did you hear about, oh, I can't believe, oh, how horrible, how sad. How come nobody knew? How could we had stopped this, right? How could we had helped this person and prevented this? Well, it's a little too late now, right? But the fact of the matter is, you could have helped, but instead, this number you got, I'm saying as around here, in such an example, this first call for help, you call this number, right? So let's say I call that number. Let's say I'm feeling real down and out, and I just can't take it no more, and I'm worried about what I might do, so I call this number. Hey, I need some help, I'm not, right? What are they going to do to help me? Let's take an honest look at that. What are they going to do to help me? Well, they're going to tell me to come in wherever and lock myself away for my own safety for at least a few days, right? And during that time, they'll put me on some medication, sedate me, and talk to counselors and all this stuff, right? And then they'll do whatever they can to help you feel better about the situation, come up with all this stuff. Oh, look at the, you know, whatever, right? But none of them are going to solve the problem. Guaranteed fact. I might do it live one day, call that number just to prove it, right? Let's say I call them and say, here's my problems. What are you going to do to fix those problems, right? Because if my mental health, and I'm not saying, you know, I'm just as an example, if your mental health is in a bad state, it's because of whatever reasons, right? You're depressed and everything else. Well, because of those reasons, you got to fix those reasons, right? But that's not the system we got here. You know, this is, and they don't understand this is why many people don't call these numbers, right? Many people ain't even interested in that. Why? Because they don't want your sorry ass excuse of help. You're not helping, right? If I call that number, you should be like, okay, I understand maybe you want a counselor to talk or whatever. Okay, now counselor, I've given you the information. I've told you everything that's happened, that why my life sucks, right? And why I'm held down or all this and that. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Is anyone going to step up? Is there any government agency? This is what our government should be for, to protect and serve us, right? That's not what it's all about, business and selling your soul to them. They're not there for you. This is why you need to eliminate government. They're doing nothing for you, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, in that kind of instance, these organizations should be, oh, wow, this is a serious thing. So then somebody should step in and say, what are we going to do to fix the issue, right? No, instead, we'll hook you up on some medicine, and you keep coming in once a month and talking to us. We'll see how you're doing and hope for the best. Meanwhile, you just drugged me up to make me forget about my fucking problems, and every one of them still exist and always will because they were never fixed. And this is a problem. And this is the elephant in the room that we don't want to address with this. Right? Your mental health. How good is your mental health? Okay? If you're having some mental health issues, what are we going to do to help? Well, we're going to do nothing to help. You're going to call this number, and then we're going to get you tied up in all this stuff, and the rest of your life's going to be a fucking joke. Right? And meanwhile, the violators and the wrongful actors or whatever reasons cause those, and it's not always that case, right? Sometimes it's just some stuff that there is cases that, well, there's not. It's just some mental health issue. But a lot of times, that mental health was caused by issues. But we don't want to address that, right? So call that number for help. It's not going to help you. It's going to stop you from doing something because they're going to put you on some drugs. You stop taking those drugs and all those problems are still right there. They were never resolved, right? And what are we going to do? We want to help. We want to help. Really? Well, in such case, then, you got to feel, I take my life, what I do, I take responsibility for my actions. And I do things, and there's times that I have to take a step back and say, oh, I'm kind of ashamed of myself. That's not right of me or this and that, right? Well, you got our public servants, like I'm just saying in my case, and there's many like it, right? That, okay, so the truth is, if I want to take responsibility for my actions and I want to truly be helpful to the rest of the world, if I'm an officer and I violate your rights and I fuck your life up before it, I should have bad mental health. I should be calling one of those numbers, right? Help me out because I can't live with myself because I really fucked somebody's life up. That's not the case, is it? Oh, these guys run around and forget about their crimes. Whatever the public servant is. What are we doing to hold any of that accountable? And it's not all, and I realize, I realize that it ain't all issues like that, but the problem is there's plenty that are. Okay, there's more times than not, your life was interfered with by outside sources, many times the government, and we can't figure out how to, we can't change this system, can we? And, there's some other points I wanted to hit on, but that's pretty much the gist of it. These stories are sad, but the truth is, like I said, we don't know the instance. As far as I know, last I knew, nobody knew the motive or anything, the instance of why this went down for this woman. But the fact of the matter is, many times we do know the instance, and they don't offer any real help. They offer you drugs and some fucked up counseling that never gets down to the real issue. And that's just the fact of the matter is. Okay? Many people, you take the whole group of the people who caused these problems for me, whether it be the sheriff, whether it be Doug Ingo, Austin Little, Ben Mosier, Troy Essex, Nicholas Fee, or the alleged victim. Every one of these people do whatever they do. They go to their counseling sessions and all. This is the professional way to do it, right? And all that shit. And they're all shitty fucking people. Every one of them, right? They don't care about how shitty they are, and that really their mental health is probably in decline because they are shitty fucking people and their conscience is back here working on them, right? That's what we got, you know. I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments, of course. And this ain't the whole view, but I'm just saying, let's address this in a way that everyone else is afraid to. Okay? We're not about to do that, are we? Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.